Civil rights movement and the Brown v. Board of Education decision in 1954 paved the way not only for minorities of color, but also for people with disabilities. Special education advocacy groups had been formed by parents as early as 1933, but now they were actually becoming some of the main players for the struggle to improve the educational opportunities for their children. In 1975, Congress passed the Education for All Handicapped Children Act, also known as Public Law 94-142. This law was meant to change an obviously broken system. Even though laws had been in place since 1918, children with disabilities were often excluded from schools. Basically, their only options were to stay home or to become institutionalized. Many doctors in the 70s told parents of children with disabilities to take their child to an institution, leave them at the door, and never look back. Public Law 94-142 did become a landmark legislation that required schools to provide students with a broad range of disabilities, including physical, developmental, intellectual, speech, vision, emotional, and behavioral, with a free, appropriate public education. This law required school districts to also provide schooling in the least restrictive environment possible. In 1990 and in 1997, the law was renamed to the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, and this spawned the delivery of services to millions of students who were previously denied access to their appropriate education. It's crazy to think that this was less than 25 years ago. Today, according to the Department of Education, approximately 6 million children, roughly 10% of school-age kids, receive special education services. In 1975, the federal government promised to pay 40% of the additional costs incurred by the districts to educate their students with disabilities. Even though federal spending for special education rose from $3.1 billion in 1997 to $6.3 billion in 2001, the federal government has never paid more than 15% of the total costs. Rosa's Law was introduced as a bill on November 17th in 2009. It was enacted on October 5th in 2011, and it became the law numbered Public Law 111-256. Rosa's Law amends the Higher Education Act of 1965, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965, the Rehabilitation Act of 1973, the Public Health Service Act, the Professions Education Partnership Act of 1998, the National Sickle Cell Anemia Act, Cooley's Anemia, Tay-Sachs, and Genetic Diseases Act, the Genetic Information Non-Discrimination Act of 2008, and other federal enactments and regulations in order to change references to mental retardation to references of intellectual disability. They are people first. They are moms, their dads, their sisters, brothers, sons, daughters, employees, friends, neighbors, students, teachers, leaders, followers, scientists, and movie stars. They are so much more than their disability. Their disability does not define them. It is part of their character, just like their hair color or their eye color. My son Kip is 5 years old. He loves superheroes, but specifically Batman. He loves to play Angry Birds and read Pete the Cat books. He is very smart and kind. He plays soccer, and he loves to slide at recess. He would eat pizza and corn on the cob for every single meal if we let him. He's very opinionated about what he wants to wear to school, and he wants to do everything all by himself. He loves to dance in the mornings before school at their Grizzly Growl assembly. He has bright blue eyes, gigantic dimples, and a very mild form of cerebral palsy, called left hemispheric dysplasia. He is not disabled. He is not handicapped. He is not retarded. He is a smart and amazing 5, almost 6-year-old little boy who happens to have a developmental delay.